Empress. I mean, say Empress get a cheaper, man. That boy, man, you listen to his rhymes. It's just, I like Nas. Nas is my favorite rapper. I like Nas.
Everybody entitled to have their favorite.
Yeah, I like Nas.
Everybody entitled to have their favorite.
Ooh, na, 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 la, 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 la. I like that. All that Wayne did with DJ Khaled.
You know, Tupac in my top 5, but he not my favorite.
Yeah, Tupac. I like Tupac. He in my top 5.
My all-time favorite when I first heard him, I couldn't stop listening.
Who?
How you say? Pick up the mic and add a cigar. Oh, man, I forgot the song. How it start?
Yeah, One Mic.
Oh, that was cold. That One Mic was wicked. That One Mic was. Follow me into a solo, get in the flow, and you can picture like a photo. Music mix mellow, maintain to make melodies for MCs, know to break the breaks, some never last, and I can go on for days and days of rhyme displays that engrave deep as x-rays. I could take a phrase that's rarely heard, flip it. Now it's a deadly word. I could get killer than all my killing and bomb with no alarm. Rock him, I remain calm.
Hey, Rakim got some flow too, though. Rakim up there with see, he come in that same line with Nas and them. All them boys,
you know, he changed rhyme patterns when he came.
Yeah,
he changed because remember when you listen to early hip hop, Curtis Blow, they only was concerned about the rhyme pattern matching up at the end of the sentence. Mm-hmm. When Rakim came in, he was what they call to that. He was making rhymes with the beginning of the sentence to this sentence, with the middle of the sentence to this sentence, and the last one in this sentence to the first one. And he was putting it down. He changed the way people write rhymes. And the only person that was even close was Big Daddy.
Yeah, Big Daddy go hard too. Most of the people was imitating Rakim. Like a lot of the guys that came out, they was imitating his Rakim flow. But then I'm gonna tell you another guy that got some flow though. That people that that's Big L. Big L. Like I believe Jay-Z. I don't like Jay-Z like that. Like Jay-Z got some. His name is blown up big. But to me, if you listen to Jay-Z, stole rhymes from everybody. Like, but Big L was the guy.
Well, when Jay-Z came up, they was making the transition from where you wasn't allowed to bite another MC's style or lyrics to where you was quoting MCs. So like in order for you to not be biting, you'd be like, "I'm a man." Nah, I said, you know what I mean? And then you could say his bars without it being biting because you gave him his credit. Right. But then when people know my Sycamore style much more sicker than yours, we don't know if it's Jay-Z or if it's Biggie. Who said it first? Right. If you don't know who said it first, I can use it. Right. That's the era of hip hop that Jay-Z came up. If you don't remember, you know what I'm saying, Biggie saying it and then Jay-Z said it, that's not considered biting in his era.
Yeah. But they got, man, they already caught Jay-Z stealing everybody rhymes. They got a whole tape with Jay-Z where they play somebody that said it first.
I seen it.
Yeah. They got Jay-Z biting everybody. But mainly he was biting
Big L. You know, his claim to fame or his legacy not gonna be music. His legacy gonna be the business behind the music.
Right. I can see that. I can see that.
Because he was able to branch out in so many different directions.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. So how he did his music, ain't nobody gonna remember in 20 years that that 80%, 60%, 40%, whatever percent of his rhymes he took from somebody else, the posterity not gonna remember that. They're gonna remember that he made business moves that got him to a billionaire status club.
Yeah. Right. Right. That's facts. That's facts. Hey man, well we at that 2-hour mark. Hey y'all want to show Rod some love? We got 1,500 people on. Everybody send him $1, man. If you want to send him more, that'll work too. He don't do it for the money, but we show him some love so we can keep this going. Hey, we got to take a couple questions from the crowd, man. Y'all drop some questions in the chat, man. See what we got. Hey, we are raw, but so what do you think? So where are we at so far as the this switch of like the government, we know Trump liquidating everything. They count all the money, making sure it's all there. So what do you see? That's what I was going to ask you about the foreigners. I think I already asked you about the foreigners coming over and running everything, getting all they all in the stores. But I see a lot of them selling their businesses now, going back to their country. A lot of foreigners since Trump got in office. The dude that used to work for, he sold his company.
What's going to have a bigger effect on those markets is what China is doing with luxury items that they've been making the whole time. So you put Louis Vuitton made in France on his bag, it just went up from $10 to $10,000 just that quick, right? So that's going to be a devastating blow to a lot of manufacturers or distributors of those type of goods. So that's going to have a trickle down effect. You know, you gotta look at everything cause and effect, right? And to who he say, remember not that I have told you, we are cycles within cycles. For to break the cycle, you must see the beginning of the next cycle at the end of the prior cycle. To liberate the mind is to liberate the soul, for it is the soul that is eternal. And the body is infinite. I mean, it's finite. Right? It is the soul that'll carry you from age to age. Know that reincarnation is a fact. Right? And for each gateway that opens, you must close the gateway that you came through before you open the next, lest chaos rush back in upon you.
Go ahead. Makes sense.
Right? So one thing has to finish before the next thing starts. We are here at the close of the age to usher in the old age exit and the new age entrance. By definite marks, you mark the cycle for the return in order to know when to jump the matrix. Jumping the matrix is shifting the timeline. And to shift the timeline is relying upon the collective to consciously be aware that they want to shift to their best life scenario on the greatest timeline. Right? No one man can change the destiny of all, but all can change the destiny of one man in the blink of an eye. For what you know in your heart to be true, conceal it not, for what you see in this world is falsehood manifest. Release the truth in the heart to liberate the souls of the righteous so that righteousness reigns upon the earth. We come not to honor thieves, murderers, and robbers, but to overthrow their regime and raise our children to be love, kind, and compassionate, givers and receivers of good things. For all is within a cycle. That which you put out returns back unto you. This is why it is written, plant thy good seed that you may reap the good fruit. Therefore, all GMO must go. Genetically modified organisms is not as good as the divinely devised organism. So what man seeks to accomplish of his own is not going to be greater than that which the mother has given. For all sustenance and nourishment comes from the mother, but all correction and guidance comes from the father. For we all want the nurturing, but we don't want the presence of the mother. But we all need the guidance, but we reject the presence of the father. So honor thy mother and thy father, that thy days may be long, that you may live in the balance and harmony of might.
All right, go ahead.
The balance and the harmony comes with balancing your thoughts and your deeds with your manifest actions. Reach not for a man lest he reach back for you.
Go ahead.
All right. It's a two-way street. You have to know how to dance before you can tell which tune needs to be played.
Go ahead. Makes
so when
sense.
you call up on the DJ, have your selection at hand lest you delay the party from taking place.
Go ahead. To hold it.
And you all know how we like to party. Some of us even party like a rock star.
Right.
Right. But at the end, in all the combination of the deeds of man, you find that everybody gonna get exactly what they asked for. Ain't nobody escaping without paying for their dirt, and nobody gonna gain without putting in work.
Right.
Right. You can do a good thing in the name of wickedness, and you could do a wicked thing in the name of righteousness. But which one's going to reap the greater reward? Well, one causes you to lose your character, while other causes you to find it.
Go ahead.
Right. And to define the best man is the man that's best to fulfill his own purpose. For he who fulfills his purpose finds greatness at his doorstep. Slumber not, for the time is at hand, when the great mother shall arise and tell you who's the chosen man to carry us back to prosperity from the land.
Go ahead. Tahoti. Tahoti. Tahoti.
Damn, that stuff. Sometimes that shit be weirding me out because I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, he jumped right in on you. Came right in on you. Signing out. Tahoti. We are the T's, and y'all are the rays. You know, the rays of the sun. Yeah, yep. The Tahuti part of the T's. That's the old. Yep. That's the older clan. The T's, the Rays, the Does, and the Doe. You know, John Doe. Nobody really know who them people is. John Doe and Jane Does. The Does. Those people.
They sound like dear to me.
Yeah, look, and look, and look, and look. They sound like dear to you, right? And they can pass. They can pass for them guys that look like us, but they ain't us.
Hey, and now you know why Bambi Mama got killed at the beginning of the movie.
There you go. There you have it. And on that note, like you can drop the mic and walk off stage because Tahuti just came in on that one. Everybody know it. That know Tahuti. You know what I'm saying? If you know Tahuti, you just know he just made his entrance at the last minute. He like to pull them buzzer beaters. He's a buzzer beater type of guy. You know what I'm saying? He like to put 3 seconds on the clock. Tahuti like them 3 seconds on the clock. He swoops. He dances. He crosses him over. Well, he shoots. He scores. Right? That's that last minute shot on the clock. Tell you like Kobe, baby.
Yeah. So there's gonna be some big announcements coming soon. We're gonna watch and see what they be.
Oh yeah, we'll be back. Hey, we'll be back whenever you're ready, bro. You know, we gotta keep it moving. Non-stop action. Try to keep them babies informed. And on that note, like I said, y'all, we about to get up out of here. We kind of late, running late, but this was a good one. Thank you, Rod, for coming out. Hey, we're gonna send love and peace and love to all of y'all that came out to kick it with us tonight. Free Malachi Z. York, free Larry Hoover, free Jeff Ford, right? Free Rashard Jamal, free all the political prisoners or anybody that's claiming to be fighting on our behalf. You know, that's locked up.
Everybody locked up, political prisoners, some knowingly, some unknowingly.
Or prisoners of war. Better word.
That's what makes them political prisoners.
Right.
All POWs are prisoners of war. That's the difference in being a slave and a POW. Remember, before they had prisons, they had state farms. Before they had state farms, they had county farms. Before they had county farms, they had family farms. And all of that went through the plantation cycle in order for you to be deceived into believing that you came from somewhere else in bondage and chains in order to be the servant of somebody else that didn't even know how to wipe his own ass for me.
Right.
Make it make sense.
Go ahead.
So you gonna tell me some pale face gonna crawl out of the cave and conquer some Skywalkers, and ain't no Skywalkers invested in their conquest.
Go ahead.
But my elder told me that Yakub was so disillusioned with how these niggas acted that he decided that he was gonna pull something from you that was gonna bring the worst out you in order to get the best from you in the end. So he decided to graft his own devil. One that genetically inferior, but he's artificially pawned off as being superior.
That make more sense. The Yaku line make more sense than he came out the cave and now all of a sudden he your master. Come on, man.
You say took him.
They took us with this stuff. They tell us, man. They took me.
Elijah said it took them 600 years to graft the devil. It'll take 600 to graft them back. Right.
Yeah.
How long was they in Europe? From 711 to 1492. Then they came over here.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's over 700 years right there.
Yeah, makes sense.
Right. And now what's left? Graft them back. And already made them. Now they got to unmake them.
They mixed in with us already, though. They got this one drop. Most
It's
of
the
them.
great debauchery. So, in order to get them back, you got to accelerate the process. You got to give them the blood of the original. And you're going to know because the physiology going to change, the character going to change, and they're going to be entirely different people from the people that came.
That's right. And when you cut the music on, they probably can dance now. After that one drop, they might can cut a rug, or might get hold. They might be on beat after that.
Or, as my man Kango from UTFO said, I can sing, rap, dance in just one show because I'm Kango. I'm so sophisticated. As far as I know, ain't nobody greater from beginning to end and to the beginning. I never lose because I'm all about winning.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right. And on that note, we out, man. We love you all. We send peace and love throughout the boundless universe to all. Wadu.
I do.
Dang, 400 stoves? That's a lot.
Well,
man.
You know how the foreigners get in our neighborhood.
The Iranians, and it's a couple other.
Now, if they don't bump straight, they're gonna get bumped off the board.
Yeah, they ain't playing no more now.
Yeah, it's a new sheriff in town.
I remember when Big Took in them, when Monster Cody was telling the story, and because you talking about the outlaw tribes and how we were different, right? He said that he had went took in them and ramming them something to go get an egg sandwich, and he ate a little piece out the thing and brought it back, and then he gave it to Raymond, and Raymond said, "Hey, Took, man, you ordered me an egg sandwich? Ain't no egg on this sandwich, right?" So he said, "Yeah, Monster Cody had ate a piece out of it, right?" So, but he ain't tell him, right? Tookie know Monster had ate it, but they went back. The whole Crip gang got together, went back down to where the Chinese that made the egg sandwich, and they took everything in the store, took all all their supplies, the cups, cake, whatever they had. Took it and came back with it, but they didn't give a dang about the law. The outlaw tribes, pretty much, they were in charge of their community. Like the Crips,
yeah.
the Crips. Go ahead. Could you go in on that?
See, we didn't start. The people that started disrespecting us in our community, we tolerated because we was able to negotiate the prices and Jew them down. That's what they used to call it. Right? You got to negotiate with the Jew. And he the one with the nasty attitude that teach all the foreigners that when you go in, you got to handle your niggers like this. Right? He's the one that's advising how to manage the slaves on the open plantation. But he's set up as a shopkeeper. So he can keep his ear to the street in case we decide that we want to get him off the land before we realize that the real ones that sent them out there look like us, but they ain't us. I ain't never want to shoot for the bottom. I always want to shoot for the top. Ain't no sense of taking out the whole army when you can take out the one that's causing the problem.
Right. We got about 30 minutes left. We'll take some from the crowd. We got a question here. It says, why we are seeing pale faces covering their face. I think they're talking about the Cincinnati thing with the pale faces out there. There's a lot of these events going on with pale faces, racist events, staged events.
Yeah, but they being staged by the Black Brotherhood of Spain, who came over here and became the Knights of the Ku Klux Klan.
Right.
Who passed it off to the pale faces over here. And then they brought up what they call the neo-Nazi doctrine from German niggas. Right. Wrote that. All of them changed their names, and that was allowed them to change their faces in the history books, in the whitewashing of history. That is not what Adolf Hitler looked like. He was a Charlie Chaplin actor.
Right.
he was trained by a guy named Rubles to play a theatrical performance of the then German dictator, the real Adolphus. And because they wanted theater, they wanted the paleface in theater. This is being done by the 32-degree Scottish Rite double head eagle. Right? They putting the pale faces in front of the camera, but they not telling you they imitating the people that's getting the movies made. All of the Adolf Hitler footage is scripted.
Yeah.
The real Adolf Hitler was a black Nazi from an Aryan race that comes from a place called Nirvana.
It's dark-skinned Aryans. Go ahead. The dark-skinned Aryans with straight hair.
Right. And this is what Adolphus was. And Adolf Hitler was the parody.
Go ahead. I heard this storyline. Come on, go ahead.
It's the same way they do the Jesus story.
Yeah.
But now they got a sister about to play Jesus in Jesus Christ Superstar on Broadway.
Wow.
They confessing that ISIS is Jesus without confessing it.
And they've been worshiping ISIS the whole time. The Pope, everybody.
And the only ones that knew was the Jesuits. The general, they thought Jesus was Jesus the Pantera, which was a whole different character from a whole different cultural influence and background.
Yeah.
But they put the story together at the Nicene Council when they assembled the canon of the Bible from the works and the plays of Josephus Flavius, who was adapting his stories from the first century Christian philosopher named Origen. Origen was a metaphysician and alchemist back then, and then later on they called him a first century Christian philosopher contemporary with Christ.
Right.
So now we looking at the narrative playing out at the finale of the script.
Right.
In order to close the script, you have to round up the cast. Right? Then they're going to do their final bow when they so-called expose the elites. You know, so they can bow out. Exit stage left. They ain't coming back.
Right? Like like Uncle Sam on the Super Bowl ritual. Exit stage left.
Yeah, that's the American corporation. Exit stage left.
How long do you think a United States corps got, being that Donald Trump is pretty much, he's already getting in there, trying to move real fast at liquidating and trying to figure out where all the money's at so he can call all the assets. You think they got 4 years? I mean, they got 4 years.
No, they moved the celebration date from the day after Memorial Day this year to the 4th of July of 2026. So they needed more time. So he gonna be at breakneck speed up until the end.
Yeah, he working fast. He getting all the assets, trying to figure out where all the money's at. He going through the whole book. They going through
that's what you do when you close the corporation. You got to take account of all assets.
That's right. That's what I told him. That's what we told him. We've been told him this, that Trump is coming to liquidate. He finna call in all assets.
Right.
So people are complaining right now about their tax. Trump holding people tax this year. If you got child tax credit, well, you know, you file kids on your income tax. They holding most of everybody to April and the end of March, and people, black people going crazy right now, saying, "Man, I'm supposed to have been got my taxes back," and now Trump is calling to be hold for the child. So it's a lot of stuff.
Well, we don't remember when they closed the IRS because they didn't make it mainstream news. They mentioned it on the back page somewhere. IRS ordered to shut down.
Damn.
Right? That was like 2021.
Yeah, I think I seen it, and the girl, the lady that came out and said something about it, we ain't seen her since.
Mm-hmm.
The black
The
lady.
same with the corporation got to shut down too.
Uh-huh.
We sunk on January 6th, we sunk their battleship. We took us off the Admiralty and put us under the jurisdiction of the Republic. That's what the January 6th big deal was about. The law of the land was the flag with no fringes. The guy that was dressed as the shaman sat behind Pelosi's desk. You only have to occupy it for a couple of minutes.
Right.
He sat there about 10 minutes. That's occupied the ship.
Right.
We sank her battleship. In 2017, the British, ever since 1776, had to have a ship in the bay right there off DC to collect the birth certificates for the fraud and the enslavement of the people to be held in reprisal for the debt.
Makes sense.
When Trump made them leave, that's how he broke their jurisdictional stronghold.
Makes sense.
Now he can foreclose on the corporation, but he got so many dirty players, they need to buy some time. So they put Biden in.
So I think, you know what I think, Rod? I think that they were paying a lot of ransom money to people, because I heard that the fake, I heard that the people that's over in Jerusalem now saying that they're Jews, they threatened to tell us who we were to the United States corps if they didn't keep paying them. I heard that the $5 Indians threatened the U.S. corps to tell who we were if they didn't keep paying the extortion money. But now Trump's saying we don't want to pay you no more. Well, we don't want to pay no extortion money no more. You can go on down.
Because you heard what Trump said, because they look like the Indians, he look like Michael Jordan.
Yeah, right.
And these people, I don't know who they are, but they don't look like Indians to me, and they don't look like Indians to Indians.
Right, right. I pass for more Indian than them, is what Trump said.
So you got to understand the feudal ages of Europe, when they used to pillage the villages. When they used to take prisoners of war, they set them up in those villages. And this is where you get your Mongolians that came over as the slaves. When they show you the picture of the brother with the nappy hair and the dude with the straight hair, the dude with the straight hair was the runaway slave, not the dude with the nappy hair. He always been here.
Right.
Right. So some of them intermarried in with some of us. Right. Some of them went on in the Trail of Tears and replaced us. And that's why they put them on the reserves and set them on the reservation. Just in case we don't remember who we is, they got somebody that they can replace us with in order for them to divvy up our birthright among themselves without us reaping any benefits. I just didn't think that we should have to endure that BS.
Right. I don't know, Justin Trubden. I can't even say his last name. And what's up with the pickup? I got tapes out on the pickups. But that guy, I don't know his name. I don't know this guy.
Justin Trudeau was a dude that came up. He was a genius kid. He came up as an entrepreneur, and he was selling stuff on infomercials. He made cures they don't want you to know about. Yeah, they locked him up. Gave him, I think, 5 years. And
brother.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I think that's who they talking about, Justin Trudeau.
Check him out. You might check him out.
Or that might be the Prime Minister of Canada, I think.
Because I know that Trump in that video, he just said that he talking about renaming Canada and Mexico. He said we paying them everything. We might well change the name of the country. But the thing is, truth of the matter, that land was a part of this land. That they trying to keep us under the impression that land is Mexico is separate from this land. It's the
Yeah, they're
same
talking about the
all
prime
Turtle Island to
minister.
Turtle Island, huh?
Yeah, they're talking about the prime minister of Canada.
Okay.
So the land is broke up in provinces. Just like Canada is broke up into royal provinces, Quebec, Alberta, like that. The same way that the states is broke up. Each territory had a different set of tribal rules governing it, and the tribes from that area had similar tribal practices to, be able to work in harmony together.
Mm-hmm.
So now when we coming back out of it, it's not going to look the same way it did before we went into it, because they changed all of the lines. They changed the way that we separated land and people. Yeah, but Justin Trudeau is the president of Canada. His ass gonna be locked up. He gonna be getting mode if he ain't already, because he already been replaced with actor,
Right.
central casting,
Right.
for a couple years now. So, and a lot of the people in Canada recognized it too, because they were saying something about it, like that don't look like him.
That came Washington D.C. and created their own government in
All of
Manhattan.
their fans is in the George Washington Masonic Memorial
Right.
display.
Bumped them.
Go look at the fans. They know whose they is. You can do the research on the fans. They're gonna tell you who fans it is. All of the fans is the George Washington Masonic Memorial. Those was the ones that challenged us to the Conjure Wars.
And I'm trying to figure out, did we give them that or did they come with it? Because it's like they want that these guys came over here. We already had the mounds.
Well, we've been doing the craft longer than they have, but they don't know that. They thought we was just savage primitives when it came to the crafts. So then they tried to villainize the ones of us that practice and kill off the priestesses and call it the witch hunts.
Yeah, voodoo and
Mm-hmm.
Salem witch projects. The Salem
Right.
witch.
And then now they hunting down the medicine men